Hello and a very warm welcome from myself, Kevin Keatings, to a sun-drenched Wembley Stadium for the richest game in world football. Worth a cool £90 million to the winners as Blackpool and Cardiff City go head-to-head, seeking to reach the Premier League for the very first time. You have to go back to 1971 for the last time the side from Lancashire rubbed shoulders with the elite. There's one of their former greats just going through shot, Jimmy Armfield, who's recently had a stand named after him at Blackpool's Bloomfield Road Stadium. As for Cardiff City, well, they haven't been in the top division in England since 1962, and they carry the hopes of virtually an entire nation of Wales into today's match, with the exception, I suspect, of the fans of their arch rivals, Swansea City. Well, let's check on the two teams. Blackpool, Ian Holloway names an unchanged team for the sixth successive time. Club record signing Charlie Adam has been a revelation this season with 18 goals from midfield. Hat-trick hero from the semi-final playoff against Nottingham Forest, DJ Campbell is eligible to play. He, of course, wouldn't have been had the club he's currently on loan from, Leicester, won the other semi-final against today's opponents, Cardiff City. It's the tried and tested 4-3-3 formation for Blackpool, full of attacking intent and keen once again to show the watching world the ambition and bravery which has got them this far. Anthony Gerrard has recovered from the calf injury which kept him out of the last three games. But despite being a near constant presence in the regulation season, he must settle for a place among the Cardiff substitutes. 21-year-old Darcy Blake retains his place. Peter Whittingham has shaken off a groin strain. His 25 goals have been pivotal in potentially earning the club a first taste of the Premier League. It's 4-4-2 for Dave Jones. Goalkeeper David Marshall and centre-back Mark Hudson were relegated this time last year with Norwich and Charlton respectively. Two key men in this experienced Cardiff City side who will start slight favourites. Well, there's an atmosphere befitting of a game of such magnitude. And can Blackpool's club record signing at £500,000 from Glasgow Rangers, Charlie Adam, rise to the occasion just one more time? Shakes the hand of our referee today, who comes from the West Midlands. He is Andre Mariner, assisted by Dave Bryan and Adam Watts, and our fourth official today will be Michael Jones. Peter Whittingham, who's been in sensational form, had only scored 19 goals in his entire career before this season, but Dave Jones has managed to find areas in which Peter Whittingham could really find the spaces to show his undoubted talent now in and around goal. And that man, Ian Holloway, will certainly have earmarked Whittingham as a chief threat to his team today. Both managers have performed miracles really to get their respective teams to this championship playoff final. Cardiff, with all their off-field problems, their mountain of debts which they can wipe out at a stroke if they win today. It's Cardiff who get us underway against a Blackpool side who found rich form in their trip towards Wembley. They were so impressive in knocking out Nottingham Forest, who finished third in the regulation season. Blackpool winning both of those legs in that playoff semi in impressive fashion. And let's not forget, the side in tangerine and white were amongst the relegation favourites at the start of the season. That's how much they have risen in 12 months under Ian Holloway. 16th they were in the final standings last season. Here's a touch for their goalkeeper, Matt Gilks. Header won by McNaughton. Blackpool play an expansive, attacking style, home and away, whatever the opposition. So there'll be no surprises in terms of Blackpool's intent to their opponents Cardiff. But they too were full of goals in the Championship season. These were the third and fourth top scorers after the two automatic promotion clubs, Newcastle and West Bromwich Albion. It is also worth noting that these two have the leakiest defences of the top 7 finishes. And I know Ian Holloway is expecting plenty of goals. That goes Bothroyd. Space here now for Cardiff on their left-hand side. Away partially by McNaughton, picked up here by Craney. Forward by Ian Evatt. Touch off DJ Campbell and then Southern. Here's Evatt again. Craney. It's easy for David Marshall. Ian Evatt playing the 300th game of his career today. His 4th season now with Blackpool. Dinked forward there by Whittingham. Back out with Peter Whittingham again, and off the frame of the goal from Chopra. Cardiff unfortunate there. Whittingham's ball into the danger area, and it was that man, Michael Chopra, who stole in front of his marker here and hit the post. Well, the angle of post and crossbar, to be strictly accurate. The goalkeeper was beaten. Cardiff the first to threaten. 20 goals in the regulation season for Chopra. A striker who feels he has a point to prove. Has played in the Premier League, was there last season with Sunderland. Had to drop down a level again to once again prove he will be good enough for the top division. Experienced Kevin McNaughton, able to shepherd that out comfortably. And there's an example of just how warm it is at Wembley. The temperature at pitch side is 31 degrees. It's around 90 in Fahrenheit terms. It'll be interesting to see how the pitch behaves itself. There's been a lot of criticism of this Wembley surface. We're on the 11th different playing surface here since the new Wembley was opened as recently as 2007. Here's Chris Burke. Craney did a good defensive job. It's a slight problem there for Jay Bothroyd. He's looking to work that off. One or two little looks towards the bench from Bothroyd. Here's McNaughton. McPhail put under pressure. Away goes DJ Campbell. And Matt Kennedy just had a yard or two's run there on Campbell, which was important. He's the oldest player out there at 34. Here's Craney. Back Baptiste for Everett. Graney. Everett's ball, seeking out Taylor Fletcher. Campbell trying to work off his header. Away by Kennedy. Bothroyd protected the ball really well there away from Adam. Chopra helping it on. And Graney with time to find Gilks. Six points separated these two at the end of the championship season. Cardiff finished fourth. Blackpool only made a playoff place on the final day at the expense of Cardiff's arch rivals Swansea City. Dave Jones, 5 years now as Cardiff manager. He's already managed in the Premier League in the past with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Cast your mind back 12 months ago, you will recall the anguish. Just a little pull-up again there from Bothroyd as he chased that long ball forward. He's still feeling some discomfort. I was going on to say 12 months ago Cardiff were looking a shoe-in for the playoffs. They had a terrible late run, took just 1 point from the last 12 available and lost out to Preston North End by a single goal. They made it with a degree more comfort this time. Ball forward from Burke. Bothroyd. Chopra just unable to gather in. Calmly done by Graney. Here's an opening now for Cardiff, a goal for Chopra! First blood to the Welsh club. Michael Chopra delighting the travelling hordes in blue and white. Just look at him in that position there, coming in behind the defenders. Timed his run perfectly. And you have to say, that is really bright thinking from Michael Chopra. Stole in on the blind side of the Blackpool defence, they just didn't see him. And before Baptiste could get across, Chopra had arrowed his shot into the bottom corner. In his fourth spell with Cardiff, including a couple on loan, he returned for £4 million last summer from Sunderland. And if that's the goal that takes Cardiff to the promised land, it'll be £4 million very well spent indeed. Plenty forward here now though for Blackpool. Take them very far. Here's Bothroyd. Graney. Should be Marshall's. Slight coming together there, Brett Ormrod and David Marshall. Little handshake between the two, nothing intentional. Well, don't expect Blackpool to be pressing too many panic buttons just at this moment in time as Dave Jones' side lead through that Chopra goal. Twice they went behind Blackpool in their semi-final playoff second leg away to Nottingham Forest. But then a scintillating second half performance, including that hat-trick from DJ Campbell, meant that Blackpool went through 6-4 on aggregate. Cardiff, you'll recall, needed penalties to get to Wembley at the expense of Leicester City. forward by Coleman, who's probably playing his last game for Blackpool, their right back. Ian Holloway brought him in on loan from Everton, but he's only this past week signed a new 4-year contract at Goodison Park and will be seeking to make the breakthrough next season under David Moyes. Here's Charlie Adam, Blackpool captain. Pumped in towards Campbell, but he was never getting there. Here's Baptiste. Coleman. Handball given. Referee Mariner adjudicates against Stephen McPhail. Well, it's a pretty easy decision for referee Mariner. It's a big day for that man, Stephen McPhail, who's beaten cancer. First diagnosed last November. And it's a pleasure for all concerned to see him down there. Looking, he says, to repay all the faith and support he was given in that fight against cancer. So it's Charlie Adam seeking to get Blackpool level, and does in brilliant style. Oh, what a goal! As good a free kick as you're likely to see at Wembley. And it flew past the left shoulder of David Marshall. He wasn't even getting close. He's been an inspiration in his time in the tangerine and white of Blackpool. And the former Glasgow Rangers man, Charlie Adam, with a quite sensational free kick. It's Blackpool 1, Cardiff 1. Well, seconds ago, it was the blue half of Wembley in full voice. Now, it's the turn of the Blackpool fans, who I incidentally travelled down with today from the north. It was a tangerine highway, let me tell you, all the way down the M1 and M6. Here's Chopra. Well, it's an open game, and it's nothing we didn't expect. Two sides who love to attack. Two sides with plenty of goal potential. There's going to be a change for Cardiff City. We suspected that Jay Bothroyd wasn't going to be able to continue. Well, that's heartbreak for Jay Bothroyd, who lost in a Championship playoff semi-final for Wolverhampton Wanderers against West Bromwich Albion back in 2007. He'll make way now for Kelvin Etuhu, 21-year-old who's coming to the end of a season's loan from Manchester City. Etuhu has yet to score for Cardiff as Bothroyd loses his opportunity. A big chance now for Etuhu to play a leading role. It's a calf injury for Bothroyd that has forced his withdrawal. The ground still reverberating after that magnificent free kick from Charlie Adam. Although Cardiff went into it as slight favourites, there's very little to choose between them. Certainly that's the way it panned out when the sides met in the league. They played out 1-1 draws on the two occasions. 1-1 we have here in a game worth £90 million. They've called it the pound a minute match. We might yet, such is the likely tight nature of this one, even need extra time. And I'm hopeful not penalties. That would be the cruelest way to lose in a game of this magnitude. It's cut out easily by Craney. So a long bursting run from the Blackpool left back. And that's going to be a free kick against Mark Hudson, the Cardiff skipper. Taylor Fletcher on the end of the challenge. He's certainly no stranger to the playoffs. Blackpool striker Gary Taylor Fletcher, twice a loser with Lincoln. And also once with Huddersfield, looking to break that run today. Coleman. Dangerous ball in. Still work to do here for Cardiff, and David Marshall, the goalkeeper, happy to hear the whistle in his favour. It was noticeable there though, just look how many Blackpool bodies in and around that penalty area. I counted 7 in that attack. Just underlines the attacking nature of Ian Holloway's team. And they'll be inconsolable right now. Jay Bothroyd. All the excitement, the tension, and the week building up to a match like this. It's snuffed out for him after only quarter of an hour. Ian Evatt for Blackpool. Stephen Craney trying to just find the right weight there for Brett Ormerod. Wasn't too far away from being perfect. Calmly done by Evatt. There's his centre-back partner, Alex Baptiste. This is Keith Southern, important part of the Blackpool engine room, alongside Charlie Adam, who's on the ball here now. A nice dummy from Ormerod. This is Craney and Campbell. He went for the glory first time effort there. DJ Campbell found only fresh air. Work to do here for Baptiste. Stroke forward by Whittingham. Chopra on the march. Held up well by Evatt. And since they got the equaliser, Blackpool have looked the better team, more composed side. 20 minutes gone at a baking hot Wembley. And this is Seamus Coleman. Southern. Adam! It was David Vaughan who strode forward there. Already seen the left foot of Charlie Adam, and David Vaughan showing that there's plenty of threat in his left foot. First we've really seen of him so far. A Welshman, so that will be a particularly important day as far as he's concerned. Returned to England in 2008 after a spell playing with Real Sociedad in Spain. Coleman finding Chopra the menace momentarily there. It's Vaughan's pass. It's a good one too for Craney. Adam. Good touch by Etuhu. This is Southern, now Vaughan. Adam. Clip on there from Campbell, who's got it back here. It's DJ Campbell. Eventually McNaughton is going to earn a throw off Campbell, who's had a taste of the Premier League in the past. Didn't make the grade though in his brief time at Birmingham. Quite a number of the players out there, cast-offs from former clubs. A number of them have tasted the top division in England before, and looking to prove one or two who have discarded them in the past wrong. Here's Coleman. Baptiste, who has never been to the Premier League before. He's making his way forward here in encouraging fashion. Baptiste, just for a moment, he was the furthest Blackpool player up the pitch. Just shows their confidence here. And they continue to take the game to Cardiff. This time Charlie Adam can't find any accuracy. Well, how Charlie Adam punished Stephen MacPhail for that handball. A moment to savour for the captain and fans alike. Here's Craney. Cardiff just can't get any meaningful possession at the moment. Safety first from Hudson. Not seeing anything at the moment of Joe Ledley or Stephen MacPhail in the Cardiff midfield. The likes of Southern and Vaughan and Adam really bossing matters in there. Jimmy Armfield, study of concentration. Former Blackpool fullback and England captain. And it's going to be a fairy tale story for one of these two. Neither club have ever been in the Premier League before. 39 years since Blackpool were in the top division in England. Of course, the Premier League didn't come into formation until 1992. If Blackpool make it to the Premier League, they'll have gone from the very bottom division in England to the top in 9 years. If Cardiff make it, they'll have done it in a dozen. Here's Coleman, on by Southern, away by Hudson. Here's Baptiste. It's nicely done by Ormerod. Pretty disappointing cross at the end of it though from Coleman. And Dave Jones' side off to a flying start, but Ian Holloway's Blackpool made of stern stuff, and Charlie Adam equalising the opening goal from Michael Chopra. Dave Jones there seeking to emulate Bill Jones, who was the last Cardiff manager to take the club to the top flight in England way back in 1960. Won by Everett, on by MacPhail. Chopra finding Burke. Chris Burke, like Charlie Adam, they came up through the Glasgow Rangers youth system together, now on opposite sides. And it's Burke who's won the corner here for Cardiff. Darcy Blake and Mark Hudson make their way forward. Left foot of Peter Whittingham to take. And he'll try again. It's Keith Southern who's got it behind for another corner. This time Whittingham works it short with Burke. Driven across by Whittingham. Just looking for the percentages there. If he struck it cleanly and accurately, it might have brought the goalkeeper Jilks into action. As it was, as you'll see, it skewed away off the outside of his left foot. Wasn't too far away though from Hudson. Adam Campbell, Everett, cut out well by Kennedy, tidy work by Whittingham, and then McPhail finds Mark Kennedy again, who was a left winger earlier in his career as the years have advanced. It's been turned from a left winger to a left back, and that's an excellent ball in, which Chopra showed plenty of interest in, not surprisingly. Thumbs up for the service. And it was Whittingham who provided Chopra with the opening goal of the game, who played in the cross, and it was going to need expert technique to volley that on target. Difficult coming across his body like that. He's certainly capable though, Chopra, if he gets into those sort of areas again. Kevin McNaughton for Cardiff City. No question that fitness is going to be playing a key factor today on this red hot day at Wembley. Players are certainly going to feel this, and those who manage to hold themselves the better in terms of the fatigue will no doubt prevail. It's all about pacing yourself on a day like this. Easier said than done when the adrenaline is so high. Almost half an hour gone. Blackpool being the better of the two sides. For me, and responded extremely well after going a goal down to Michael Chopra's right-footed shot. Charlie Adam with a spectacular free kick has equalised. It's the sheer number of bodies that Blackpool get forward when they do attack, which has made them more of a threat. Comfortable header won by Blake. Here's Vaughan. Goes down quickly by the substitute, Etuhu, whose elder brother Dixon plays his football at Fulham. Chopra. McPhail digs out a pass here for Ledley. He's just not been allowed to get into the game at all so far, Joe Ledley, for whom this is a particular meaningful day. Cardiff born and bred. There's certainly been plenty of Premier League interest in Ledley in recent years. Still only 23. He's been with Cardiff since he was 9 years old. Here's Etuhu. It's a gift of a throw for Cardiff. Whittingham will leave here for Kennedy. Cardiff looking for that quick ball down the middle again for the alert Michael Chopra. Possible that Cardiff perceive just a slight lack of pace down the middle of that Blackpool defence in Baptiste and Everett. Chopra, we know how quick he is. Here's Vaughan. Coleman. Baptiste, he's come a long way since being relegated with Mansfield, who dropped into non-league back in 2008. Alex Baptiste cost Blackpool just £50,000. On the ball here now. Coleman. Keith Southern. Now Everett. Do get good width into their play, Blackpool. Craney. Three waiting for the cross. In goes Campbell. Just lost his footing there as he was looking to trouble the Cardiff captain Mark Hudson. It's his final touch that sent the ball spinning out for a Blackpool corner. Blackpool's first corner of the game. Cardiff have had two. In by Vaughan. Back into the penalty area by Adam. Now it's a chance for a breakout here for Cardiff. Etuhu. Here's Chopra. Blackpool desperate to get bodies back here. It's a fine ball from Chopra, just driven Whittingham a little wider than he'd have wanted. The possibility still good here for Cardiff. Excellently worked. This is Chopra. Appeals for handball in there. One or two Cardiff players were suggesting this struck a Blackpool arm. Let's see. Little 1-2 between Chopra and Ledley. Oh, it may just have done, you know. Let's see from this angle. This will tell us. Well, Coleman's left arm. That was a really difficult one for the officials to spot. The ball did actually rear up and strike the fullback's arm. Just look how the temperature has risen now. 106, very nearly 107 degrees Fahrenheit down at pitch level. That is very much into uncomfortable range. Etuhu has the nose injury. The man who came on after a quarter of an hour of this championship playoff final to replace calf injury victim Jay Bothroyd. But it's Cardiff who have the corner kick. Taken by Burke. Looking for Hudson, who got his head to it. Well, perhaps Cardiff now feel as though it's their time to dominate possession. They're enjoying a good little spell here. It's an excellent run from Ledley! Goal for Cardiff! The 23-year-old, born and bred in the Welsh capital, Joe Ledley, gives Cardiff City the lead again. Brilliantly fashioned goal. Fed forward initially by McNaughton, was Ledley who helped it on, and there he was for the return pass to calmly scoop the ball beyond the advancing Matt Gilks. Whittingham, the provider for the first goal, an assist too for the second. And Joe Ledley currently wears the broadest smile inside Wembley Stadium. Well, it promised goals, and it hasn't disappointed. All the noise now emanating from the left side of Wembley Stadium. Blackpool once again having to call upon all their reserves of energy and spirit and self-belief. Away by Hudson. Here's Charlie Adam. David Vaughan for Seamus Coleman. Vaughan again. Hopped on by Southern. Decent try, and it's off the post! And there's no Blackpool player there for the follow-up. Gary Taylor-Fletcher with a shot that beat David Marshall and cannon back off the post. Only 7 goals in the regulation season, but the 28-year-old Taylor-Fletcher within millimetres there of levelling it up at 2-2. Oh, Marshall under pressure, he can't grab on, and off the line and in! It's 2-2! Taylor-Fletcher won't be denied this time, having seconds ago hit the woodwork. Only his second goal in his last 21 appearances for Blackpool. Marshall came, couldn't collect. Clearance off the line, and when the ball came back, it was Gary Taylor-Fletcher who was on hand to nod Blackpool back on level terms after Ian Everett's volley was cleared off the line. Blackpool felt they'd done enough. It was Mark Kennedy who got it off the line, but nobody could prevent Taylor-Fletcher from finding the back of the net. What a final, what an atmosphere, and twice Blackpool have come from behind. Blackpool fans in ecstatic mood. Here's Coleman for Blackpool. So important that they have an attacking fullback when you play 4-3-3, and Seamus Coleman is certainly that. One of the greatest ever playoff finals was played at the old Wembley back in the late 90s. It finished Charlton 4, Sunderland 4. It went all the way to penalties. Charlton winning that shootout 7-6. I wonder if we're in for something similar here. We're well on the way to it, aren't we? Gary Taylor-Fletcher putting Ian Holloway's side back on level terms. They are two very close friends, incidentally, the managers Dave Jones and Ian Holloway. The Holloway family once gave Dave Jones's daughter a horse as a birthday present. The daughters of the respective families, both horse lovers. It was during Ian Holloway's time as manager at Plymouth. Anguished look on the burning face of Dave Jones down there. DJ Campbell can't be sure what his future is going to be come the end of today. Man in the grey hair at the front there is Peter Ridsdale, the Cardiff City chairman, who will depart the club at the end of this month. Originally came in as a consultant under the then chairman Sam Hammam back in 2005. A year later Ridsdale took over as chairman. Hasn't always been an easy ride, to say the least, for him. The man who courted a lot of controversy in his time at Leeds United, and their drop from the Premier League to the third tier. Well, Cardiff have had mounting debt problems. Ridsdale, in his defence, says he's sorted a lot of the debt problems. He's angered the fans along the way, though, promised a lot of money for new recruits and the buying of players, which never materialised. It went on settling debts. Cardiff's debts still amount to around £15 million, but they do have a Malaysian consortium ready to take over when Ridsdale leaves at the end of May. A couple of minutes of stoppage time will be played at the end of this scintillating first half of the Championship playoff final of 2010, which has certainly lived up to the hype. Two attack-minded teams that have really gone for it. Ormerod might get a lucky touch here. It was a mistake by Hudson. Vaughan, now Coleman. Another positive run from Seamus Coleman. It's Campbell looking to turn, it's DJ Campbell! And Ormerod! 3-2 Blackpool! The veteran, 33 years old, Brett Ormerod. He scored 5 goals when the club won a playoff from League Two 9 years ago. Now it's a playoff goal for a place in the Premier League. Poor defending, you have to say, by Cardiff City. Looked as though they would be favourites to clear their lines. Nobody could get a sure touch. Only Brett Ormerod could. We're in first half stoppage time, and this incredible game sees Blackpool go ahead for the very first time in this match. Wow, this is some spectacle. months into his second spell at Blackpool. Brett Ormerod, in the twilight of his career, with a moment he'll never forget. Penny for those thoughts now of Dave Jones. Very shortly he's going to have a more difficult, it would seem, half-time team talk to administer, unless Cardiff can find a goal! And they have! No! Flags up against Darcy Blake. And Blackpool very happy to see the flag here of Adam Watts, who saw in his vision there that Darcy Blake had just strayed offside, when most of this stadium thought we'd had a sixth first half goal. Cardiff unlucky there. Referee Andre Mariner brings an end to a quite outstanding first half. The last of the 5 goals scored by Brett Ormerod, after Michael Chopra had given Cardiff an early lead. Charlie Adam, the Blackpool captain, equalised with a world-class free kick, only for Joe Ledley to make it 2-1. Gary Taylor-Fletcher with a close-range header levelled it up at 2-2. But it's Brett Ormerod's goal that makes the difference at the moment. And from what we've seen in the opening 45 minutes or so, more of the same please in the second half. It has been truly brilliant. Half-time at Wembley in the Championship playoff final. It's Blackpool 3, Cardiff 2. Okay, 10 seconds to commentary resuming. Welcome back to Wembley Stadium. Brett Ormerod's goal right on the stroke of half-time as Blackpool 3-2 up over Cardiff City at half-time of this 2010 Championship playoff final. What a first half we enjoyed there. And I just wonder what the second 45 minutes, at least that, unless we go to extra time, has in store for us. Gary Taylor-Fletcher, who levelled it up at 2-2 with a close-range header. Charlie Adams, scorer of a magnificent free kick for Blackpool. But Cardiff more than played their part in a scintillating first 45 minutes with goals from Michael Chopra and Joe Ledley. Twice Cardiff led, but now the team from Wales has to come from behind for the first time. The Premier League is the dream that both Blackpool and Cardiff City are chasing. Neither have been there before. And the riches on offer to the winners of this match today at Wembley are untold. Estimated at a minimum of £90 million. It could end up being more. The club that even finishes bottom in next season's Premier League will pick up £40 million just for finishing bottom. Dave Jones would have been having plenty to say, of course, at half-time, the way his side conceded the goals they did, two of which were, from his point of view, I think, avoidable. Nothing really they could do about the Charlie Adam free kick, which gave David Marshall no chance. Meantime, there's treatment here for Kevin McNaughton. No changes in personnel out there, other than the one which was enforced upon Cardiff after just quarter of an hour of the first half. Jay Bothroyd limped off with a calf injury and was replaced by Kelvin Etuhu. Chris Burke. Always on the move. Chopra. Either Mark Kennedy or Kelvin Atuhu had made their way inside. Peter Whittingham and Kelvin Atuhu had made their way inside the penalty area, but never really wrapped his right foot around that sufficiently well. Michael Chopra. Certainly had an adventurous first half. Seamus Coleman, 21 years old, on loan from Everton, Republic of Ireland, under 21 international. It's a promising player. Done by Taylor Fletcher, away by Blake. Here's Coleman again. Baptiste. Just backed off Ormerod there, who didn't get a touch of the head. On towards Campbell, well watched by Hudson. Fed forward by Kennedy. Atuhu. On by Whittingham. Kelvin Atuhu's going to get there first. Chopra looking for the early ball in. It's just beyond him. Great idea from Kelvin Atuhu. Again, the left foot of Whittingham, which set up both Cardiff's first half goals for Chopra and Ledley very much to the fore there. It was a lovely ball to release Atuhu. Craney. Excellent quickly on Taylor Fletcher. So a little slip there from Charlie Adam, who obstructed the opponent in the end. Who was McPhail. Burke. Another free kick against Adam. He hasn't been a stranger to cards this season. Just a quiet word, but nothing more from Andre Mariner, for whom this has been a pretty comfortable final to officiate so far, notwithstanding the discomfort of the heat for players and officials down there. Whittingham, it's disappointing. Chris Burke. McNaught. Number two long there. Possibilities here for Blackpool. It's DJ Campbell trying to make room for the shot. Better defending this time from Cardiff City. McNaught, who'll be breathing a sigh of relief. The man taking the throw was he who was hurried out of possession. Craney. Another problem here for Kevin McNaughton. Bit of movement around the Blackpool bench as well. We may see Ben Burgess very shortly. Burgess. And he's going to come on for Gary Taylor-Fletcher. They've got Blackpool's goal, which got them back to 2-2 shortly before half-time. There was still time for Brett Ormerod to get the goal that currently has Blackpool 3-2 in front. Jones trying to take first touch and then clear with the second. Here comes the switch. Forced one. Disappointment for Gary Taylor-Fletcher. With that goal has played perhaps a crucial role in taking Blackpool up to the Premier League. John Burgess scored 8 goals in the season ending. Currently studying for sports journalism and broadcasting degrees in his 4th season, Burgess, with Blackpool. Signing for a nominal fee from Hull City, just £25,000. It's the sort of region that Blackpool have had to deal with in terms of buying players over recent years. Very much the car boot sale and buying department for them. Ian Holloway says that they do make the land of milk and honey, the Premier League, they will still spend within their means. There's been recent examples, hasn't there? Portsmouth and Hull City of clubs that have overextended in terms of buying and paying the consequences now. Still, I'm sure their ambitions will be as lofty as their iconic Victorian Tower on the famous promenade of the seaside town of Blackpool. And they're just trying to catch Marshall unawares. Charlie Adam. That was ambitious, to say the least. Story goes that Blackpool turned down a £3 million offer from Middlesbrough early last year I should say, for Charlie Adam. Free kick against Ledley. Taken by Ian Evatt. Vaughan unable to keep that one in. McPhail. Calmly done by Evatt. Now Craney. Cardiff City getting ready to bring a fresh pair of legs on in Scottish striker Ross McCormack. Substitutions and the timing of them in terms of the personnel could play an also crucial role in the outcome of this Championship playoff final. Helped on by Burke and onside, Chopra! And again, Michael Chopra has hit the woodwork. The angle of post and crossbar early on in the first half, and just about the same place again here. Definitely onside, played in by Burke. And it rattles back off the bar. So unlucky. Meantime, the switch is made by Dave Jones. Chris Burke coming off to be replaced by Ross McCormack. Top scorer for Cardiff last season with 23, only 5 so far this. Offside against Chopra. Chris Burke has gone off with a groin strain. Henry Taylor-Fletcher succumbed to a hamstring problem. Here's Ormerod. Blackpool bodies streaming forward again here. Charlie Adam, his latest effort at goal. He does find himself in good areas, doesn't he? Always drifting in from those deep-lying midfield positions to find the room to step forward and shoot. It's brought him so many goals that way this season. Controlled well by McCormack. Here's Chopra. Just held up there by Everett. Michael Chopra has earned a corner. His movement off the ball has been exemplary in this final. Really asked a lot of questions of Baptiste and Everett. Captain Hudson and Blake, two central defenders, made their way forward for Whittingham's corner. Goalkeeper didn't get there. There was a chance for Joe Ledley. See the anguish written all over his face here. He was getting there ahead of the goalkeeper. Jokes looked less than assured. Wasn't too far wide, was it, of that far post? Scott Dubby is coming on now to replace Brett Ormerod. Both sides now have made 2 substitutions apiece. Came on against Nottingham Forest in the second leg at the City Ground in the semi-final playoffs. Scott Dubby scored an excellent goal and really played his part as DJ Campbell got that second half hat-trick. Here's Keith Southern! And this continues to be a most open final. Game really stretched quite relatively early on here, with only an hour gone. I just felt that the wide open spaces of Wembley would suit the way both these teams play their football. Stephen Dobie and DJ Campbell partnership fare for Blackpool in the remaining half an hour. McPhail. Nicely worked by Cardiff City. Chopra teased in by Whittingham, away by Baptiste. Adam. interception there from Adam. On the way forward though for Burgess, in steps Southern. Charlie Adam again. Watched by Kennedy, not the best headed back pass by the captain Hudson. It's a gift of a corner to Blackpool. Not under any pressure at all there, Hudson. Sloppy. Of Tangerine behind the goal, which David Marshall defends for Cardiff as Adam floats in the corner. Everett's got free here. Did his best to help it back into the danger area and keep things alive for Blackpool. A word there from Dave Jones to Michael Chopra, as a little change of system is in the offing here. I think he wants three up front, which really only serves to match the way Blackpool set themselves up right from the start here. But Cardiff need a goal, fed on by Whittingham. And the shot stings the hands, but no more of Jilks from Etuhu, but it will be a Cardiff corner. Fair, meantime, has got an injury. Suffered in a crunching challenge on the edge of the centre circle. It was on target from Kelvin Etuhu. Blame can be apportioned there to Keith Southern, both players with eyes only for the ball. It's a powerful wrap around the left knee for Stephen McPhail. And having already used two of his substitutes, Dave Jones will be looking on anxiously here. The rest of his bench is largely made up of defenders. Who was the Cardiff captain when they were here in the 2008 FA Cup final, which they lost to Portsmouth. Stephen McPhail is limping quite heavily. It may be that they're going to have to make do with 10 for the time being, just to see if McPhail perhaps can shrug that one off. Yeah, 1 minute is the signal, just to make absolutely sure that McPhail can work it off or not. Meantime, Cardiff have this corner kick. Whittingham will take it. Swung into a good area. It's well defended by Blackpool. Etuhu. McCormack. What's McCormack do here? Around the first challenge. And then a disappointing shot at the end of it. It was positive. Another former Glasgow Rangers player. I want his experience out there for a little longer if they can. Cardiff. Etuhu. All the goals in this final in the first half, but the second half has been no less absorbing. It's been end-to-end stuff. Another goal perhaps in the offing here. Blackpool again with bodies forward. Here's McNaughton. Coleman. Another enterprising run from the Blackpool right back. Here's their left back now, Stephen Craney. Teased in by Charlie Adam. Header won well, but illegally by Burgess. Probably just straight offside, he had done. Eagle eyes of the assistant, Adam Watts, on this near side. Quarter of the game to go. Blackpool are a little over 20 minutes away from the Premier League. What a fairy tale story. And there's going to be one told, whatever happens here today. But by no stretch of the imagination count Cardiff City out yet. Chopra so unlucky not to make it 3-3 in this second half with a shot off the crossbar. And Holloway 2 years ago presided over relegation with Leicester City from the Championship. Took a year out of the game, totally refocused his thinking about how to be a football manager, freely admitted to that, and came back as a manager who went out not so much with the intention of trying to prevent losing a game or protecting a draw, but simply going out to win matches, and it served him so well in this wonderful season for Blackpool. It hasn't got any cooler. Players would detest 30 minutes of extra time. Could yet go all the way. Here's McNaughton. Chopra. Good challenge. Effective that from Everett. Here's Coleman. They just won't sit on a 3-2 lead. Don't expect Blackpool to do that. They aren't built that way under Holloway. And you have to go back to that wonderful performance at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest in the semi-final. They knew only one way, and that was to go forward in numbers. They've done that throughout this final. Cardiff too have had their moments. And it has been a great game. Here's Southern. For a little bit of rhythm at the moment, Cardiff. Baptiste. Here's Campbell. Mark Kennedy spent a lot of his career in the top levels of English football, a Cardiff left back. Counts Liverpool, Manchester City and Wolves amongst his former clubs. McPhail. Pace of the game noticeably slowing. It's not a great surprise, is it? Chopra, Whittingham looking for Chopra again. Only a foul against Craney. The officials aren't interested in Michael Chopra's claims. Mark Kennedy to set Cardiff forward again. Players will enjoy it when they get into the shade of the half which Blackpool defend in this second half. This is Whittingham. Tease an opening beyond Baptiste. It's fed in by Kennedy. Stabbed away by Charlie Adam. In by Kennedy again. Away by Everett. Nice ball picked up here by Coleman. Adam. Coleman. Look at this from Blackpool. 3-2 up, but body streaming forward. It's Dobby with a shot. And he's forced a corner. How quickly they get forward as a unit. Something that's so impressive about this Blackpool team. Players' lungs must be burning down there, and yet there were 5 tangerine and white Blackpool players there that were looking to pressurise Cardiff. Kevin McNaughton off. Cardiff and Dave Jones have made their final substitution. Anthony Gerrard, who's the cousin of Liverpool's Stephen, who's been carrying a calf injury in recent times, is on. And in comes the Blackpool corner. Still some defending to do for Cardiff. Not as far as Craney. And they're in behind here are Blackpool, plenty waiting for the cross. Charlie Adam claps his hands in frustration and knew what a good area he got into here. Got away from Etuhu. The players queuing up for the cross. Another injury which forced that latest switch for Cardiff. A calf injury for the right back McNaughton. Glorious control from Chopra. He's looked a Premier League striker out there today. He's always held down a place at either Newcastle or Sunderland in the top division in the past. He's determined to still go there with Cardiff. And there's still plenty of time for Dave Jones's team. He looks a little more satisfied with what he's seen just now. More of the ball. But Blackpool is still a genuine threat on the counter-attack. Chopra once more. Etuhu strong enough to hold off the challenge. Here's McCormack. And now Kennedy. And the goalkeeper's lost it! My word, what a nervous moment there for Matt Gilks. It's a corner to Cardiff. And this all seemed to happen in slow motion after it got beyond the goalkeeper. Was it going in? No, not quite. Just beyond that far post. No foul given against Chopra. So often these days goalkeepers tend to get those decisions. In by Whittingham. Back out to Peter Whittingham again. Ball's out, it will be a throw though for Cardiff. Here's McPhail, who's shrugged off that earlier injury. In by Stephen McPhail. It's dropping kindly here for McCormack. One or two of his teammates suggesting he might have tried a different route there. Ross McCormack, the substitute. Certainly there was a pass on there to the edge of the penalty area. That's what they were complaining about, to the man who could find only the side netting. Cardiff having to dig deep. forward by Blake, who's playing at right back now since McNaughton went off. Gerrard has taken up his customary centre-back position alongside the captain Hudson. McPhail. Blake available. Here is Darcy Blake. He's done well to earn the throw. Cardiff fans away on that far side, urging their team forward. Whittingham helps it in. Unattended though was Baptiste, who was able to clear. And Blackpool on the charge. Getting distinctly into the phase of the game now where Cardiff are going to have to take some risks. And Blackpool will be ready to pounce on any gaps that are left. Ledley. Blake. Down goes McCormack. Appeals in vain for a penalty. Kennedy. Room in which to turn here for McCormack. Craney's header not the best. His side still firmly on the back foot here. Ross McCormack. Excellent looking ball in. Craney. He made up for that initial poor header with a much better one there. Under pressure too. Away by Adam. And Blackpool can regroup. Holloway has still got one more substitution up his sleeve should he wish to utilise it. At the moment, this man seems happy with what he's got out there. There's an orange flag sticks right on top of that famous Blackpool Tower currently. A feeling of elation would lead to several thousand Blackpool fans believing they could almost fly up to the top of that tower once they get back to the seaside town, should they hold on here. They're a little over 10 minutes away from the biggest prize, certainly in terms of the finance that it's worth in world football. £90 million. They can almost taste it, Blackpool. Darcy Blake, found a gap there, and still Blake, can he go all the way? Ian Evatt is furious with the ease in which several Blackpool players allowed Blake to found a route to the shot, didn't overextend Julks in the end. Sign of tiredness perhaps amongst the Blackpool ranks. Hudson. Julks just happy to get something meaningful onto that. Coleman has run it out. It just keeps coming back towards that Blackpool goal. McPhail. Kennedy. Still playing their football here. Cardiff. Away by Baptiste. Gerrard. Mark Hudson. Easy header for Coleman. Baptiste. That's for Burgess. Gerrard just getting across in the nick of time to halt the progress of Ben Burgess. David Marshall to launch this one forward for Cardiff. Tuhu can't get a touch. Well defended by Evatt. Away by Craney. Burgess. The tension amongst the Cardiff fans is almost unbearable. Suffered the anguish of missing out on the playoffs by a single goal to Preston North End at the end of last season. After spending virtually the entire season in the top six. And Cardiff have made it to the playoff final in the Championship this time around. Twice they held the lead. Blackpool just kept niggling back at them. And the Brett Ormerod goal on the stroke of half-time is still the difference. Whittingham with a Cardiff free kick. Into the heart of that Blackpool penalty area. It was Burgess who headed clear. Good pressure from DJ Campbell. Mark Kennedy having no option but to put the ball out under pressure from the pacey Campbell. Stephen Craney taking all the time that he'll be allowed over this throw-in. Total concentration is what Ian Holloway was calling for now. Dobby held up well by Hudson. No free kick. No complaints either by Chopra. Coleman. Sensible play from Blackpool. There's a few vital seconds down on the clock. A little over 5 minutes of normal time left. Remember, if it is level at the end of normal time, we will have 30 minutes extra time. And if they still can't be separated, penalties. Cardiff desperate for a goal now. A nudge by Chopra on Alex Baptiste. Season's long, hard toil is down to just a few minutes. Billy Jones has tasted promotion to the Premier League with Wolves. Or is it going to be despair after 5 years building Cardiff City to the brink of the Premier League? That will do for Blackpool. The jokers in the pack, if you like, and I mean that in the nicest possible sense. They have arrived out of nowhere. As I said earlier in commentary, they were placed when Ian Holloway took over last summer amongst the favourites for relegation, and here they are, 4 minutes plus time to be added on, away from the Premier League in England. In comes the free kick. Another Blackpool goal now will certainly finish it. Evatt. They stay camped deep in Cardiff territory. Crowd of just under 82,500 here at Wembley. Credit to the players who are still managing somehow to find some energy in those legs. Those that have been out since the start must really be feeling it. They're just getting by on instinct now. She's going to have to go all the way back with Marshall. Darcy Blake, not the direction in which he wants to face right now. Referee Mariner watchful, no free kick given. Here's Whittingham, it's a nice turn from Peter Whittingham. Layoff from Ledley. The flag has stayed down here. Chance for Cardiff. Just couldn't take the shot on there. Thought he might have swung a right boot at it there, Joe Ledley. Prefers the left. But it certainly might have been worth a try. Meantime, it's Blackpool. Freedom of Wembley here for DJ Campbell. It's a good challenge in the end, which halts him in his tracks, but a throw will do for Blackpool. Just at the other end, a chance almost opened up for Cardiff. '89th minute. Coleman. Vaughan. Adam. Patient possession football here from Blackpool, asking Cardiff to come and get it off them. Inside here, Campbell. As soon as the ball goes dead, Ian Holloway's going to bring his final substitute on. Barry Bannon is ready. And he'll get the opportunity now. David Vaughan is right by his manager. He's the player who's going to make way. And the referee is urging Blackpool to get on with the throw, and here is Campbell. Angle's tight. It's a decent cross in the end from DJ Campbell, because it's forced Joe Ledley to concede a corner. Blackpool were certainly trying to make, I'm certainly thinking about that substitution, but Andre Mariner urged them to get on with it. It's happening now. David Vaughan's coming off, and Barry Bannon will replace him. Blackpool had engineered the last 4 or 5 minutes extremely well. 4 minutes of time has been added on. They're still trying to make that switch. Vaughan had made his way across to this side of the field, ready to come off. But Blackpool were ordered to take the corner, and still they can't get Bannon on. That signal of 4 extra minutes has lifted the Cardiff fans to one last roar. See if their team can find this goal that'll take us to extra time. McPhail. Bit of room opening up now for Whittingham. And the header won't extend. Now Joe Ledley, Matt Chilks, a routine save for the Blackpool goalkeeper. And Joe Ledley could still end up in the Premier League next season if Cardiff don't win here today. Plenty of interest in him. Good work from Campbell. Amazing, he looks as fresh as he did in the opening 5 minutes. I'm not sure how that is possible on a day as warm as this. It's going to stay in for Blackpool. It is. Retrieved brilliantly by Dobby. Now, finally a chance for Cardiff to get out. Not very far though, but they have a free kick. And we've got less than 2.5 minutes to go. Finally, Barry Bannon will get on. 20-year-old on loan from Aston Villa, Scottish under-21 international, played twice for Villa in the Premier League last season. Vaughan is, as I said, the man who will depart. going back to Villa at the end of the season. It'll be interesting to see, should Blackpool hold out here, what they do with one or two of their loan signings, like DJ Campbell, loan from Leicester, and Bannon, and Dobby. Yet another header won by Everett, who's been outstanding at the back for Blackpool. And look at the Blackpool bodies raiding forward here. Keith Southern the furthest forward. Not making it all easy here for Marshall de Cleer. Superb pressing from Blackpool. Where are they getting the energy from? Quite incredible. Dave Jones can only watch on in despair. But to do that at the end of a game of this importance on such a searingly hot day is testimony to the fitness that Ian Holloway has engendered into his squad. A lot of that has been down to weight lifting, which he learnt from the current Wales Rugby Union national team coach Warren Gatland, of whom Ian Holloway is a big fan of in terms of management. He said he's learned a lot from Gatland. Here's Burgess, he's getting free now to bury it. No, he can't. Marshall with a crucial stop. Still time for Cardiff. One last foray forward for them. We're into the last 20 seconds of time added on now. This would be one of the most dramatic goals of all time at the old or new Wembley if Cardiff were to score now. Plenty of blue shirts forward. Coleman gets it away. Have they got time here, Cardiff? This is surely their last chance. Will there be time to take the throw? The 4 minutes of added time are up. Blackpool are on the brink of the Premier League. In by Whittingham. Header down only for Gilks, and Blackpool are surely there now. Full-time whistle from Andre Mariner. A warm embrace between the two managers, and Q, one of the biggest parties that you will see for a long time. In his first season with Blackpool, Ian Holloway has rediscovered himself as a football manager. Blackpool have rediscovered themselves as a football club. 9 years ago, they were in the basement of the English Football League, and these fans would have been going to the Rochdales, the Darlingtons and the rest. And among a crowd at that time of 3,000 and 4,000 at Bloomfield Road. But Jimmy Armfield there can barely hold back the tears. The Blackpool section there. And for every winner, there is, of course, a loser. Two tales to the story. And for Cardiff, it's abject disappointment. So close. They played their part in a wonderful final. All the goals came in that quite exceptional first 45 minutes. Twice Cardiff City led. Michael Chopra with the early first half goal. But Blackpool wouldn't lie down. The spirit of a lion, Ian Holloway and his players. Michael Chopra, well, it would have been another story if two of his efforts hadn't hit the woodwork, wouldn't it? But Charlie Adam, who has been the catalyst for taking Blackpool into the Premier League. £500,000, their club record signing. What a story for him and this group of Blackpool players who bought into Ian Holloway's thoughts, into Holloway's ideas. A bunch of free transfers and journeymen. One or two have been discarded from the Premier League in the past, who will be back to prove that they can play at the top level. £90 million has just been won by Blackpool Football Club. My goodness, riches that hitherto they could not in their wildest dreams have expected. The joy at that end of Wembley Stadium contrasts with the rapidly empty end has been deployed by those who've made the trip up the M4 corridor from Wales. But they'll be back, Cardiff City, I'm sure. They've got a terrific stadium, excellent training facilities, but they're now going to have to facilitate their debt, which they hoped would be wiped out. Blackpool went into this championship playoff final, incidentally, relatively debt-free. So their position is a good one going up. And the message will tell the story. They are going up. Has it sunk in? I think it probably has. But a memorable final, one that will be recalled, particularly by those in the famous Tangerine, for many a long year to come. Joe Ledley being consoled there by Ricky Shimika. Cardiff, born and bred, with the club since he was 9 years old. The families will be mighty proud of these Blackpool players. They only got into the playoffs on the final day of the regulation season. Even then, they didn't win their last match. They had to rely on Swansea, Cardiff's arch Welsh rivals, and failing on their side of the bargain to overtake them. Now the M1 and M6 motorways are going to be awash with Tangerine and white on the way back to the Lancashire seaside town of Blackpool. A seaside town which I think many will say has seen better times in recent years, is in need of a facelift. His won't be the only tears around amongst Cardiff circles. But it's not just a football club that's going up, it's a whole community, a whole town which will benefit from Blackpool being in the Premier League. That's what it brings. Seamus Coleman there, who's played such a significant part in his spell on loan from Everton. And a word too for a veteran in the twilight of his playing career, whose goal has been worth £90 million to Blackpool Football Club. 33-year-old Brett Ormerod. There he is, the man who got the goal on the stroke of half-time. We expected more goals given what we'd seen in the opening 45 minutes. They didn't come, they could so easily. There was plenty of chances in that second half. But Ormerod will have that to remember for the rest of his life. A rich reward for a good, solid professional down the years. Scored goals which took Blackpool up from League Two in a playoff final 9 years ago, Brett Ormerod. Now he is the ultimate hero and the biggest prize of all in world football. So it's Blackpool who are joining West Bromwich Albion and Newcastle United. And for Ian Holloway, the Joker, a real comedian, but don't let that mask his abilities as a football manager. You ask his players what they think of this man, and to a man, they will tell you he is one of the best. In terms of man management, he has few peers, and it's those man management skills that have propelled Blackpool into the Premier League. He said that he was almost fit to burst even before this final. Goodness knows what he's feeling inside now, keeping his emotions largely in check for now, as his players make the triumphant march forward to receive the trophy, which will signal that Blackpool, after a 39-year absence from the top division of English football, are back amongst the big time. Look at the reaction of some of these players who played around the lower leagues of English football. Cast-offs, players that have been sold for £25,000, £50,000, and here they are, going up to the Premier League. Surely Ian Holloway will buy some new players. That's to be expected. And some of these delighted players probably won't play a part for Blackpool in the Premier League. But I dare say the majority will. And their summer holidays, in contrast to those of Joe Ledley, the vanquished Cardiff players, will be a total contrast. Gary Taylor-Fletcher on crutches, with an important goal for him. And here's the man they call simply Ollie. And they will be erecting a statue in the seaside town of Blackpool before too long for their manager, I have no doubt. What a job he has done. Quite astonishing. And the players, some of whom have made their way up already, shaking the hand there of the Cardiff outgoing chairman with the grey hair there, Peter Ridsdale. There is the trophy. It isn't very high, but it proudly holds the tangerine ribbons of Blackpool Football Club. Greg Clark, chairman of the Football League, recently installed amongst the dignitaries there, as is Sanjay Guha, the president of Coca-Cola Great Britain and Ireland, the Football League sponsors, who will be the man to hand over the trophy. And in the hands of Jason Ewell and Charlie Adam, and it's Blackpool who are heading to the land of milk and honey, the Premier League. It's the only place to be, they'll tell you, in English football. And what a meteoric rise it has been for Blackpool. A wonderful, wonderful story. Stories that these players will retell to their children, grandchildren, for many decades to come. DJ Campbell, whose hat-trick played such a significant role in the semi-final win over Nottingham Forest. Stephen Doby, who came off the bench to score at the City Ground. He's almost out of it, isn't he? Ian Holloway. He's spent every ounce of emotion, just collecting privately for a few seconds there his own thoughts, trying to regather himself. As the players receive their medals, prize possessions, and a final that certainly lived up to all expectations. Cannot take it away from these Blackpool players to be twice behind at Wembley. When first Michael Chopra scored the opening goal of the game, after Charlie Adam had equalised with a wonderful free kick. Finally the trophy in the hands there of Brett Ormerod. After Charlie Adam had equalised, Joe Ledley, Cardiff born and bred, made it 2-1 to Cardiff. But back came Blackpool again. Taylor-Fletcher raising the trophy aloft there with the man who made it 2-2. And then finally it will be Ian Holloway in the biggest roar of the afternoon, as Ollie holds the playoff final trophy aloft. Warm embrace with the chairman there, Carl Oyston, the Oyston family who played such an important role in resurrecting Blackpool as a football club. Let's not forget too that the club president, Valerie Bellacon, who put money into Blackpool when it was most needed. They played all their football this season with a three-sided ground. And quite a lot of these fans weren't there on a regular basis. The second lowest attendances in the Championship, just over 8,500. That's all Blackpool averaged in what has turned out to be a momentous season in their history. And there's the man, Ian Holloway, that has taken them to the Premier League. One final thought for Cardiff City, just how this defeat will affect them. Well, Dave Jones is one of the calmest and most experienced managers around. He is indeed the most experienced manager currently in the Championship. Sadly for him and his players, they're going to have to stay there. But I'm sure Dave Jones will be around, despite the fact that he's well respected by several chairmen around the English game. And certainly Cardiff supporters and the board will hope Dave Jones will stay in place to try and get Cardiff up, perhaps automatically, without the playoffs next season. As the Blackpool players make their way back down to the playing surface for their lap of honour. See, the Cardiff City end is almost deserted now. Now the Blackpool fans can get to see their victorious players close up and see the trophy. Charlie Adam, no doubt, has been the star player. Those 18 goals in League and Cup from their captain. Another so important one here today. Well, all the principal questions that will be asked of Blackpool, how will they go about it in terms of getting ready for the Premier League? Forget about them for the moment. This is all about enjoying the fruits of their labour, and they fully deserve to do that. And for Ian Holloway, 2 years ago, relegated with Leicester, sacked out of the game for a year, took stock, came back with a different approach, an attacking, expansive idea on how to play the game. What a bonus, what a story, what a prize. Football can have so many twists and turns, and in the shape of Ian Holloway, one of the most romantic. Cue the champagne, cue the celebrations. The 2010 playoff winners in the Championship at Wembley are Blackpool. The final score, and congratulations to Blackpool Football Club, commiserations to Cardiff. Blackpool win it by 3 goals to 2.